Really close. Really close. Yes, sir.
This is a poem called Before I Was Gozen by Naomi Shihab Nye. I was a boy, and my homework was missing. Paper with numbers on it, stacked and lined. I was looking for my piece of paper, proud of this, plus that, then multiplied. Not remembering if I had left it on the table after showing to my uncle, or on the shelf after combing my hair. But it was still somewhere, and I was going to find it and turn it in. Make my teacher happy. Make her say my name to the whole class before everything got subtracted. In a minute, even my uncle, even my teacher, even the best math student and his babysitter, who couldn't talk yet. And now I would do anything for a problem I could solve.
So when we were thinking about this, Jenna and I were really struck by the women in prison. Of course, there's so many in prison, but we wanted to just really lift up Palestinian women in the Israeli occupation jails. And while we know about the cases of Ahed and Norman, her mom, of the Al-Tamimi family, let's pause and reflect not only on these two brave women, but also on other Palestinian women and girls in Israeli jails, political prisoners for merely resisting occupation.
As of fall of 2017, Sammy Dune report on Palestinian women prisoners, 5 held long-term under administrative detention, 58 women prisoners, and 10 minor girls in Israeli jails.
Most Palestinian women detained by Israeli forces are held at Hasharon and Damon, which the group points out are both located outside of the 67 occupied Palestinian territory border, in direct violation of international law that states that an occupying power must hold detainees within occupied territory. And what this means is that the women are separated from their families who can't get visits.
Adabir and Sammy Dune, 2 groups that monitor conditions in Israeli prisons, report many human rights violations of prisoners, including lack of medical attention, lack of access to educational materials to continue their schooling, isolation. The majority of Palestinian women detainees were subjected to psychological torture and ill treatment by Israeli authorities, including various forms of sexual violence that occur as beatings, insults, threats, body searches, and sexually explicit harassment.
Adamir has documented that approximately 38% of Palestinian female prisoners suffer from treatable diseases that go untreated. The poor quality of food and lack of essential nutrients cause women detainees to suffer from weight loss, general weakness, and iron deficiency.
Let us remember their names. Lina El-Jarbouni is the longest-serving female prisoner and has been jailed since 2002.
Dareen Tator, the poet and freedom writer, her Facebook post, which we'll read a part of from her poem Resist. The truth in your heart is stronger as long as you resist in a land that has lived through raids and victory.
Sabah Baroun, a Palestinian seamstress and mother who is held without charge or trial under administrative detention, was issued a final order for 3 months in administrative detention on the 19th of September. She has been reportedly ordered to different periods in administrative detention since she was seized by Israeli occupation forces on the 19th of June 2016.
The The other 4 Palestinian women held in administrative detention are former prisoner Isan Dabashe, Ifnan Abu Hania, and Union of Palestinian Women Committee President Hitam Safin.
Ahlam al-Mahlouk, 19, from the village of Farwat Bani Zaid near Ramallah, sentenced to 6 months and 1 day imprisonment for incitement for posting on social media. She was seized by Israeli occupation forces who invaded her home on the 16th of June of 2017 as she was in the midst of planning her wedding.
Rawan Dabalas, 22, from the village of Jaffna near Ramallah, who has been in prison since July 24, 2017 during a pre-dawn raid on her family home. Isbrak Yahya Tamimi, the Palestinian student at Berzait University who was seized from the girls' dormitory in a military raid on March 20th, 2017. She was to graduate that coming summer, but has been forced to delay studies due to her continued imprisonment by the Israeli occupation.
There are now 11 girls being held in Hasharon prison among 36 Palestinian women. The remaining 23 women prisoners are held in Dammam prison. This in Hasharon are Iman Ali, Marah Jida, Lama al-Bakri, Isra Jaber, Emel Kaba, Manar Malak al-Ghazal, the youngest prisoner at age 14, Huda Arinat, Malak Sleiman, Noor Zrikat, and Ahad Tamimi.
Lama al-Bakri, 17, was sentenced in September 2017 to 3 years and 2 months in Israeli prison and a fine of 6,000 new Israeli shekels.
Emel Kaba, 17, from the village of al-Rihan near Jenin, serving a 1.5-year sentence. Her mother was interviewed by the prisoner's information office, in which she said that her daughter is beloved with the prison among her fellow Palestinian women prisoners for her creativity and artwork. Emel was accused of attempting to attack an occupation soldier at a checkpoint between her home village and the village of Tura. She is attempting to complete her 11th grade studies inside prison. Her mother emphasized that she's an excellent student who wants to take the Tawjihi exam and has always planned to attend university.
So, those are just some of the names, not all of the names, and certainly not the names of all the men who were in prison. And one thing that I don't know if you got a chance to share with the person next to you what you plan to take away from this march, so it's not a one-off. But one thing that we ask is that you all contact all of your electeds and support the McCollum bill. The McCollum bill is the bill that's based on no way to treat a child. So it's demanding that the Israelis release Palestinian children from jail. We know that when Palestinian children are arrested, they face torture, they face separation from their families, they're arrested at night in terrifying raids. And this bill calls out all of the human rights violations that these arrests entail. So please contact your Congress people to support the McCollum letter, it's not a bill, excuse me, the McCollum letter saying to the State Department that our funding should not fund this kind of human rights abuse. So that's really important. This is also just an important time to take a few minutes and contact all of your electeds. Also, if you're outraged about Jerusalem, a unilateral decision that Trump made, state that opposition. State your opposition to all the legislation that attempts to shut down free speech in the form of being anti-BDS legislation. So there's a lot of those kinds of things that we can have as asks. And the Facebook event page for this, I'll keep it up and we'll keep adding different actions and events so you can watch it.